Finally here on Wednesday, we got to see cars on track on the 2.5-mile oval at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Nathan Brown, the motorsports insider with the Indianapolis Star, here to break down a great day of practice here for the Indianapolis 500 on Wednesday. We got to see a full 6-hour session as planned with all 34 cars on track, along with some install laps at 10 o'clock, and then R.C. Enerson's hour and 45-minute session to move through his 3-phase rookie orientation program. He did complete that, though not quite before noon, but did shortly after, and we had 34 cars rolling on track throughout the afternoon. Scott Dixon jumped up on top of the time charts very quickly within the first 10 minutes or so, dropped a lap of 228 miles an hour, and later improved that to the 229 range. And it was only with less than an hour to go in practice during happy hour that his teammate Takuma Sato overtook him at the top of the timing charts with a lap of 229.439 miles an hour. Dixon finished second on the day at 229.174. And Santino Ferrucci, a little bit of a surprise, up there in third, followed by Sato and Dixon's Ganassi teammate Alex Palou, and Team Penske's Scott McLaughlin in fifth. We had Colton Herta, Marcus Ericsson, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Joseph Newgarden, and Marco Andretti to round out the top 10. At the bottom of the timing charts, we had Catherine Legg, Christian Lundgaard, R.C. Enerson, and Callum Ilott. Callum Ilott was a really interesting person to track throughout the day. In the one day that we had of open testing back in April, he complained of a car that wanted to yank across the track, could not hardly drive it straight, and was really struggling. He, I think, at that test turned a lap of 215 miles an hour and was never able to get above that, and that's right around where he started today. They took the car back to the garage a couple times, was able to get it up to 219 and then 220. Finally finished the day right around 223 miles an hour, which doesn't sound too bad, but still, 6 miles an hour or so off the top. Still not a place that you want to find yourself when you're a full season driver. You find yourself on the back foot. We've already obviously lost one day of testing. We've only really got one more day tomorrow during normal boost before we go into Fast Friday and start really working on qualifying. So if you're Callum Ilott and Juncos Holland you're racing, you're really hoping that tomorrow goes smoothly. You can fix all of the kinks so that on Friday you can solely work on qualifying, setup, pace, balance, things like that, rather than still feel like you're working on the car itself and just getting it to a comfortable place. Earlier in the day, we got a chance to talk to drivers in the bullpen, notably Marcus Ericsson, who is coming into this month looking at the end of his current contract with Chip Ganassi Racing. Now, you might think, guy's a former 500 winner. He's finished 6th in the championship these last 2 years. He's an almost automatic top 10 finisher these days since he found his first win at Detroit in 2021. But he's still working on that. These last couple years, ever since he came into IndyCar, he's been backed by Husky Chocolate, a deal that was helped brokered by a Swedish billionaire, someone who's been behind Marcus through the bulk of his racing career. His name is Finn Rousing. And at this point, whether it's push from Finn or Husky or just Marcus feeling like he wants some more respect, he is said it is time for him to stop providing money to help support this program. He doesn't want to be hired as what we would call a pay driver. He doesn't want the reason that he has his ride be because he brings sponsorship. Now, if Chip Ganassi Racing and Husky Chocolate could work out a deal and Marcus would be sponsored, then that's great. But he wants to be hired on the merits of his skill on track and just that. So here he is talking about his ongoing contract negotiations with Chip Ganassi himself, as well as some phone calls that he's been getting lately from around the paddock.
You know, I mean, I have great support from Sweden and my backers and sponsors and everything. I've had that all my career, and I'm very, very thankful of that. But I feel like where I am now in my career and what I've achieved, that shouldn't be like the reason why I'm hired. You know, so I think that's important for me, that I should be hired for the skills I have as a driver and not for the potential sponsor I can bring or not bring to the team. It would have been nice to have them worked out before, you know, already now, obviously, but that's not been the case. So I just have to focus on delivering on track. I feel like I've done a strong start to the year, and also hopefully have my case. I'm not stressed about it. Like I said, I feel like there is a lot of teams interested if Chip, it's not. Let's go that way. So I'm not too stressed about it, but of course, as always, you want to get things sorted for your future. The earlier the better, so you sort of know what you're doing. But if I keep delivering on track, something's going to work out, I'm sure.
We also got a chance to hear from Alex Palou, another Chip Ganassi racing driver who, as we well know, is going through a bit of a career change as well. We expect that he likely will end up at Air McLaren after the end of this season, whether he wins this 500, whether he wins his second championship in 3 years. We know the saga that they went through last year, that it included a federal court case. Things have been smoothed out now, but it's still wide paddock speculation that he will be switching teams at the end of this year. Earlier today, we got a chance to catch up with Alex, who won this past weekend's road course race at IMS, the GMR Grand Prix, in dominant fashion, won by 17 seconds. Now, I know winning on the road course, winning on the 500 oval, not a whole lot of connections there when you're talking about car performance, balance, strategy, things like that. But we've seen sometimes drivers that do well in that race or even win that race just provide some momentum for that team. Here, Alex is talking a little bit about what that win brought and what he would love to do that no one has done here in the month of May since Will Power swept the month of May in 2018, and his team Penske teammate Simon Pagenaud followed up and did the same in 2019.
Obviously, a lot more confident, a lot more energy. Everybody has, they are willing to go out on track and try to sweep the month of May, which is really tough, but it's doable, and we're the only team that can make it happen. So everybody's hyped up, but yeah, focused on the big race.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Thursday, here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is pretty simple. We've just got one 6-hour practice that runs from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Gates here at IMS, I believe, open at 10 a.m., so you get some time if you are coming to the track to walk around the grounds, get your seat, get your food and beverage, and then we've got cars rolling again. I think they turned somewhere around 3,500 laps today, and I'm sure we will see much of the same. Losing that 6-hour practice day as we did on Tuesday means that teams, from what I've heard, just kind of get a chance to run a little bit more aggressively. You're not going to see teams taking massive 2, 3, 4-hour breaks because they don't have the tires to get through the end of the week. You've got guys, yes, taking little breaks here and there to work on the car, change the setup, be able to try some things as they're working through some of these new aerodynamic pieces that they have the ability to test out and potentially use here during the month of May this year. But we're not seeing these massive breaks, and that means more on traction per day for you guys as fans. Of course, if you're wanting to get some in-depth stories, videos, photos of all the action here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you know where to go. Head to Indianapolis, the Indianapolis Star, IndyStar.com. We've got our Pit Pass Live videos, photo galleries, multiple stories coming every single day, along with some features and big project type stories that we've had in the works for a couple months now. Hope you have enjoyed and will continue to enjoy our coverage of the month of May at IndyStar.com. For them, for USA Today, I'm Nathan Brown, your Motorsports Insider. This has been Wednesday's edition of Pit Pass Live.